What's up? Time for some hacking fun. Benchmark time. Let's see what all this kerneling and ROMing and hacking and stuff has gotten us, if anything. All right, so we're ready to roll. Thought I would leverage the use of the one and only NVIDIA Shield TV, as the way I was going to record with the computer looked like shit, and decided nope, I can just use the Shield. I can cast to it, so works pretty well. The picture's super grainy. That's just the picture on the phone. When you stream to the TV, it's actually pretty awesome. Super responsive, looks great, looks exactly like your phone. Pretty badass. Gotta love it. So I already ran some benchmarks, like when I got the phone originally, ran a quadrant. 19,088 was the baseline out of the box score. So let's run some new ones and see what we can get. First, we're gonna go into the kernel manager. I'll show you where I got my clock speeds and how I got this all set up and shit. Max CPU frequency is 1708, and then on the big cluster I got it cranked up. For some reason it won't let me pick the 2054. I don't really know why. I tap it and it just goes away and nothing happens. I don't know. As high as it'll go is 1824, so that's what I did. Cranked it up as far as it would go. Now if you see up here at the top, let's see if I can point. Up here, there's like a little RPM gauge, like a little tachometer, and then a little leaf. Those are like performance mode and then economy, or whatever, budget mode to try to save your battery and whatnot. If you tap the performance mode, it'll pop up the little icon up here in the corner, and you notice they all kind of jump around pretty wildly. I think it changes the way that the CPU is governed, so it's a little bit more apt to go full throttle. Like, see, I'm not even doing anything right now and it's bouncing around to max. So I tend to not use that, but we are going to test it, see if it makes any difference. I don't really think it will, because when you run a benchmark, it's going to go 100% anyway. This just changes how often it goes 100%. So I don't really think it'll make any difference, but we're going to find out. Tap it again and it turns off. And then the leafy thing, you notice it flat out turns two of the bad boys off. And then the other ones, it way throttles. We'll run a test on that as well to see if it really makes any difference performance-wise. I haven't noticed a difference. I haven't used it a whole lot either. So usually I just leave it regular. So this is the benchmark at overclock speeds without all the little tweaky things in the kernel manager. Alrighty, first run is done. 18,704. So it did worse than stock. I wonder why. That's really funny. I have run benchmarks on this since doing all the kernels and stuff, and it does make a difference. I don't know. Oh, it's probably because it's casting. Stand by. Okay, so I was digging around a little bit, rebooted it, and ran the test again. Got 19,330, which is right about where stock is. But I noticed something. I went back into the kernel manager, and the clock speeds, max CPU is 17, max CPU 18, whatever. It kind of dawned on me, that's not really any higher than stock. The stock clock speeds are, where did it go? Quad core 1.55 gigahertz, Cortex A53, quad core 2 gigahertz, Cortex A57. So one of them is bumped up a bit, and the other one's kind of actually declocked, like downclocked, slowed down, whatever. I don't really know why, because like max, and it keeps setting it back down to these like tiny ass numbers, like 13 something, 1708. See, and that time it didn't change it. So basically having some technical difficulties. I didn't realize it wasn't working because it was. I ran some other benchmarks, got 1933. Oops, not that one. Wait a minute. I'm going to back my pictures. 20,000 was kind of like the highest that I got. I bet it could even get higher than that because that was no joke, like not even any tweaking or anything. You could also see that I had the high performance mode or whatever engaged for that one. This is just a screenshot. I don't know what's going on. It's kind of interesting. This happens sometimes when you overclock stuff and when you tweak stuff. Sometimes if you don't tweak it enough or tweak it right, it really doesn't do anything. Like right now I'm kind of getting the same benchmark scores. All that being said, the phone itself runs perfect. Like I've never had it hiccup or anything. It's super, super fast. Everything on it's awesome. I love it. But the benchmark scores, I'm a little bit of a benchmark nerd. I kind of like the numbers. I think it's kind of interesting, even though they don't really mean anything. They don't really matter. I just find it kind of interesting. The numbers are kind of going down. So I got to go into this kernel manager thing. You can actually get pretty like nitty gritty with it, I believe. I'm used to doing this with other apps, and the other apps that I used, you could actually do like CPU frequencies and everything. It was super, super, super granular. And it looks like they, oh, there's your frequencies. Or not frequencies, I'm sorry, voltages. That's what I meant. You could actually go in and do your voltages, and it looks kind of like they did away with that. But there are a lot of options in here, and quite frankly, I haven't really used a lot of them. But see, max CPU frequency, it went all the way down to 960. Cluster 2. And now it won't set to anything. So I don't know exactly what's going on with it. One of them's offline. I think it's throttled right now, probably because I'm streaming and I'm doing all kinds of benchmarks over and over and over. And this is the 810, the Snapdragon 810, and it is the one that is notorious for having the throttling issues. So it might just be throttling. Oh, there it came back on. I don't know. I'm not real sure what the hell's going on with it because usually I get better numbers. But I don't know. That's just kind of how it works. Stability-wise, been perfect. Haven't had any problem with it. You can see them right there. Haven't any problem with it. Been nice and stable. Been nice and snappy. Everything works. There are a couple things with it that I've noticed don't work like they used to. I will make a video dedicated to that side of things later because there's a few things that I use that don't work right with this ROM. So I might end up changing ROMs. I might not. It might be the kernel. I don't know. I have to do some more testing. But I don't know. It works great. No performance issues. No stability issues. Everything's awesome. Overall, very, very happy with it. Now I just got to figure out what the hell's going on with the overclock. It's a little wonky. See, it went offline again. I also need to know which one is which, like which damn kernel cluster is the big and which one's the little. Because there's one that's supposed to be clocked higher and the other one's supposed to be clocked lower, but these kind of go back and forth. Sometimes the bottom one is clocked higher, sometimes the top one, and this one's like fucking just deucing out. I don't know, it's doing some kind of weird shit right now, and it says CPU temp's only 43. I don't know exactly what the target temperature is for throttling on this. It's not like a desktop that'll get up to, 90 degrees or so before it'll start kind of getting a little cranky with you. This doesn't have any form of active cooling, so it might throttle at a lower temp. I don't know. But anyway, probably the least informative video I've ever made. My apologies. Expect a part 2 to this because I need to figure out what the hell's going on with it. It's it ain't doing what it's supposed to do, but in my typical fashion, I like to make unrehearsed videos, so it happens. If you guys got any questions or concerns, recommendations, anything like that, let me know. Well, that's getting edited. That's my phone number right there. You can't have it right there. Anyway, like, share, subscribe, all that happy horse shit. You know the drill. Later.